today's video, I'm going to provide you with a little bit of the stimulus update. We're going to talk about how some people are receiving a 200 Social Security post. And we're also going to address Biden's new plan regarding COVID. And we got some COVID updates for you. Let's go to update for today. First, today marks the 1-year anniversary of the January 6th Capitol riot last year. We're not gonna go over everything that happens because I'm pretty sure that happened a year ago. Today, we are not really going to touch on that. But today, President Biden spoke on the riot and pretty much in the blaming former President Donald Trump for everything that happened. Mitch McConnell came up today. He passed the Democrats using this today on remembrance pretty much for political gain. And that's really all I want to discuss regarding the Capitol riot 1 year ago today. Let's get to some stimulus updates. First, there is a real need for additional stimulus here in the United States. If we do see additional relief, which is questionable at this time, it must go to right people. They said no more sending money to families that don't need it, and businesses that are not actually using the funds. We are seeing so many reports over the past. They said that this is what causing a lot of problems. If it comes to passing the bill with additional assistance, who is going to get it? That's a question. And when lawmakers looked into passing assistance for restaurants, this is the talks that We Got groups came out and said, well, about us in the airline industry, and what about us that own small retail stores? What about us in hospitality industry? Will we get assistance to those other questions? So the problem that remains in which industries will get assistance, if and when it's passed, and the only thing that we truly know right now is that lawmakers are considering additional checks, but we don't know who could get it or even when they could get it. Let's talk about the 200 post of Social Security. There is a certain group of people that are getting 200 posts to their Social Security benefits each month. But in order to do that, we could have had to get paid $3,389 a month in the 2021 because 5.9 cost of living adjustment could have posted your Social Security benefits by more than 200 for somebody that retired in 2021 at the age of 70. Their maximum benefit could have been $3,895. So your increase due to the cost of living adjustment could have been $229 per month. That could be your increase. So somebody that over the age of 70 and retired in 2021 last year, they could give half the 200% to their Social Security benefits. So keep that in mind that there are people that did receive the 200 per month first. Let's also discuss what the President Biden said last year as well. President Biden told the American people, but he also went on plan former President Donald Trump that he was the one to blame for the virus spreading beyond control. But now, according to Wall Street Journal, he is actually planning a major shift, and the Biden administration is actually shifting toward preparing Americans to see COVID as part of their daily lives moving forward. This is something that we just have to get used to. We know teachers are contracting COVID, and therefore they are closing down schools not because the teacher is contracting COVID, but the teacher contracted COVID. Let's say 20 kids, which in average is likely 27 or 30 some kids. That's a staggering number. but like 27 kids for every one teacher. And what we need to keep in mind is very single. One of those students have now been someone is posted right. They may not test positive, but they have just been exposed. When then the teacher tests positive in many cases, the classroom pretty much has to isolate for at least 5 days. So does the teacher well? If the teacher was in other classroom, right, then the other student have to isolate. This is what causing a lot of schools at times to simply shut down. Workers are actually contacting COVID, and therefore their business have to shut down. The office buildings in many cases shut down, right? What about the airline workers? What happens when an airline worker tests positive and they have to stay home and isolate? These issues it caused the 11 straight days where they have to more than 1,000 flights get cancelled in 11 straight days. And that incredible is hard to believe. We are still 6 days away from the peak of Omicron. And this is what is causing the major cause of concern. Now we reported 704,000 COVID cases yesterday here in United States. This now put out the 7-day average that the 584,000 cases and our 7-day average of death are actually about 1,300. So they are less than half of what they were 1 year ago. Today, less than half. But all the COVID cases are double. So that's where experts are saying we need to look at this case and be like, okay, this is just part of the number, but we need to look at the hospitalization and the deaths. That's going to be the key. We need to get of the state of how many cases. They said that shouldn't matter this far into the pandemic, and this is also why some experts feel that we're on the back end of this pandemic. But the issue still remains about the tests. Nobody can get at home COVID test right now. When it comes to testing centers, there's huge lines and many people do not want to wait. So that's the issues that comes down to my administration. They didn't order more tests back in October and November, right? They didn't need those, but now we do, and they could potentially be months out. It's only bad if you decide to sell. Now, I really like where some of these numbers are headed, and this is just my take on this again. But this is turning into the major buying opportunity for long hauls. Now here, what I'm going to do, and I tried this yesterday. Let me address this again. I plan on elevating today. I plan on waiting until the charts report comes out tomorrow. I will re-elevate it then as well, and I will also again keep this in mind. And the CPI data comes up next Wednesday on January 12th. This is going to be a big day as well, and we could either see stock going tumbling even more than what they have already done, or they could somewhat go up. Now, here's my advice to patients in this type of market. There's going to be deals, and there are going to be some incredible deals, but they are not going to look incredible. Today, you're gonna look at the past history, what we have seen invested in the strong company, and don't invest the expert. There's no warranty there, right? There are gonna be some good deals in the crypto. There already are. There are going to be some good deals in the stocks. There already are, but the patient. Let's talk about the Africa CDC says because there are severe lockdowns are no longer told to help contain COVID. And he says, I would improve where we are using the severe lockdowns. Until it's over, we should actually be looking at how we use public health and social measures more carefully and in balance the way as vaccination increase.